Great friends, hardworking friends, serious, sincere seekers, students of the Upanishadic Shastras. Thank you for giving this joy by being here in this class every day. Congratulations. Wishes that it will yield definitely for what purpose we are coming here. Prayers also to invoke Parabrahmadi and to invoke Lokasevakadi Vyaktitvas. We are doing our daily quota of tapasya, sadhana of Veda Parayanam, of common sense thought, of Shlokocharana, Dhyana Purvaka, Shanti Mantras, Sankalpa, Upanishad Mantra, Parayanam, Upanishad Mantra, Adhyanam. Upanishad we are studying is Shwethashwathara, last sixth chapter, through the Jnana, the Moksha Prapti. Jnana of already existing substratum reality. That it is me and that experience is gained first in our heart. Thereafter, that alone is seen everywhere, felt everywhere, experienced everywhere. Right? At the time of telling through the upadhis, language comes. If not, the experience is me, like when you see an album of your own pictures. If nobody is there to ask, you see all of them, but the experience is it is me, it is me, it is me. Somebody asks, then you tell, yeah, it is me. That time I took this picture, etc. The details are secondary. The experience is primary, that in and through all those pictures, it's me. So that is the Deha Drushti. That Deha picture, it's me only, therefore. And Deha is that picture only. In that album, if somebody else is there next to you, you won't say it is me. But what we talk here is the Atma Drushti, the one Atman alone, permeating every name and form here. When that is realized, like the album, Deha Drushti, all those pics are me. So too, from the Atma Drushti, all are me only. That experience. That is called as Mukta Sthiti. To gain that, the contemplations, the researches, the guidances that are required are given to us in this Upanishad. Let us study. So, the first of all, Veda Parayanam, Samavediya Chandogya Upanishad, 10th Khanda of the third Adhyaya. Let us see today, if possible, 11th also, though it is little big. Start. ॐ अथ वेदपारायणं सामवेदीय छान्दोग्योपनिषत् तृतीयोऽध्यायः द्वादशः खण्डः है ना या एकादश हो गया कल द्वादशः खण्डः see yesterday only we learned Gayatri mantra we chanted that in our mantra ucharana so today this 12th Khanda is about Gayatri only. It was, more than coincidence. You can call it as blessings. ॐ अथ द्वादशः खण्डः ॐ अथ द्वादशः खण्डः ॐ गायत्री वा इदगं सर्वं भूतं यदिदं किञ्च ॐ गायत्री वा इदगं सर्वं भूतं यदिदं किञ्च वाग्वै गायत्री वाग्वै गायत्री वाग्वा इदगं सर्वं भूतं गायति च त्रायते च वाग्वा इदगं सर्वं भूतं गायति च त्रायते च या वै सा गायत्री या वै सा गायत्री इयं वावसा इयं वावसा इयं पृथिवी पृथिवी अस्यागं हीदगं सर्वं भूतं प्रतिष्ठितम् अस्यागं हीदगं सर्वं भूतं प्रतिष्ठितम् एताम् एव नातिशीयते एतामेव नातिशीयते या वै सा पृथिवी इयं या वै सा पृथिवी इयं वावसा यदिदं अस्मिन् पुरुषे शरीरम् अस्मिन् पुरुषे शरीरम् अस्मिन् हि इमे प्राणाः अस्मिन् हि इमे प्राणाः प्रतिष्ठिताः प्रतिष्ठिताः एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते यद्वै तत्पुरुषे शरीरम् यद्वै तत्पुरुषे शरीरम् इदं भाव तद्यदिदम् इदं भाव तद्यदिदम् अस्मिन् अन्तः पुरुषे हृदयम् अस्मिन् अन्तः पुरुषे हृदयम् अस्मिन् हि इमे प्राणाः प्रतिष्ठिता अस्मिन् हि इमे प्राणाः प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते सैषा चतुष्पदा षड्विधा गायत्री सैषा चतुष्पदा षड्विधा गायत्री तदेतद्रुचाभ्यनोक्तम् तदेतद्रुचाभ्यनोक्तम् तावानस्य महिमा तावानस्य महिमा ततो जायागंश्च पूरुषः ततो जायागंश्च पूरुषः पादोस्य सर्वा भूतानि पादोस्य सर्वा भूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवीति त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवीति यद्वै तद्ब्रह्मेति यद्वै तद्ब्रह्मेति इदं वाव तद्योऽयं बहिः इदं वाव तद्योऽयं बहिः धा पुरुषाद् आकाशः बहिर्धा पुरुषादाकाशः यो वै स बहिर्धा पुरुषादाकाशः यो वै स बहिर्धा पुरुषादाकाशः अयं वाव स योऽयमन्तः पुरुषः अयं वाव स योऽयमन्तः पुरुषः आकाशो यो वै सोऽन्तः पुरुषः आकाशः आकाशो यो वै सोऽन्तः पुरुष आकाशः अयं वावस योऽयमन्तर्हृदये आकाशः अयं वावस योऽयमन्तर्हृदये आकाशः तदेतत् पूर्णम् अप्रवर्ते तदेतत् पूर्णमप्रवर्ते पूर्णामप्रवर्तिनीगं श्रियं लभते पूर्णामप्रवर्तिनीगं श्रियं लभते एवं वेद एवं वेद अथ त्रयोदशः खण्डः अथ त्रयोदशः खण्डः तस्य हवा एतस्य हृदयस्य तस्य हवा एतस्य हृदयस्य पञ्चदेवसुषयः सह योऽस्य प्राङ्सुषिः स योऽस्य प्राङ्सुषिः स प्राणस्तच्चक्षुः स प्राणस्तच्चक्षुः स आदित्यस्तदेतत्तेजः स आदित्यस्तदेतत्तेजः अन्नाद्यमिति उपासीत अन्याद्यमित्युपासीत तेजस्वी अन्नादो भवति य एवं वेद तेजस्वी अन्नादो भवति य एवं वेद अथ योऽस्य दक्षिणः सुषिः अथ योऽस्य दक्षिणः सुषिः स व्यानस्तच्छ्रोत्रगम् स व्यानस्तच्छ्रोत्रगम् स चन्द्रमास्तदेतत् श्रीश्च यशश्च स चन्द्रमास्तदेतत् श्रीश्च यशश्च इत्युपासीत इत्युपासीत श्रीमान् यशस्वी भवति य एवं वेद श्रीमान् यशस्वी भवति य एवं वेद अथ योऽस्य प्रत्यङ्सुषिः अथ योऽस्य प्रत्यङ्सुषिः सोपानः सावाक् सोपानः सावाक् सोऽग्निस्तदेतत् ब्रह्मवर्चसं सोऽग्निस्तदेतत् ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अन्नाद्यमित्युपासीत अन्नाद्यमित्युपासीत ब्रह्मवर्चस्व्यन्नादो भवति य एवं वेद ब्रह्मवर्चस्व्यन्नादो भवति य एवं वेद अथ योऽस्योदं सुषिः अथ योऽस्योदं सुषिः ससमानस्तन्मनः ससमानस्तन्मनः सपर्जन्यस्तदेतत्कीर्तिश्च सपर्जन्यस्तदेतत्कीर्तिश्च व्युष्टि च इति उपासीत व्युष्टि चेत्युपासेत कीर्तिमान् व्युष्टिमान् भवति य एवं वेद कीर्तिमान् व्युष्टिमान् भवति य एवं वेद अथ योऽस्योर्ध्वः सुषिः अथ योऽस्योर्ध्वः सुषिः स उदानः स वायुः स उदानः स वायुः स आकाशस्तदेतदोजश्च स आकाशस्तदेतदोजश्च महश्चैति उपासीत महश्चैति उपासीत ओजस्वी महास्वान् भवति य एवं वेद ओजस्वी महास्वान् भवति य एवं वेद ते वा एते पञ्च ब्रह्मपुरुषाः ते वा एते पञ्च ब्रह्मपुरुषाः स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपाः स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपाः स य एतान् एवं पञ्च ब्रह्मपुरुषान् स य एतान् एवं पञ्च ब्रह्मपुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद अस्य कुले वीरो जायते अस्य कुले वीरो जायते प्रतिपद्यते स्वर्गं लोकं प्रतिपद्यते स्वर्गं लोकं य एतान् एवं पञ्च ब्रह्म य एतान् एवं पञ्च ब्रह्म पुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य पुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद द्वारपान् वेद अथ यद् अतः परो दिवो ज्योतिः दीप्यते अथ यदतः परो दिवो ज्योतिर्दीप्यते विश्वतः पृष्ठेषु तु विश्वतः पृष्ठेषु विश्वतः पृष्ठेषु सर्वतः पृष्ठेषु सर्वतः पृष्ठेषु अनुत्तमेषु उत्तमेषु अनुत्तमेषु उत्तमेषु लोकेषु इदं वाव लोकेषु इदं वाव तद्यद् इदम् अस्मिन् तद्यदिदमस्मिन् अन्तःपुरुषे ज्योतिः अन्तःपुरुषे ज्योतिः तस्यैषा दृष्टिर् तस्यैषा दृष्टिर्यत्रैतदस्मिन् शरीरे यत्रैतदस्मिन् शरीरे सगं स्पर्शेन उष्णिमानं विजानाति सगं स्पर्शेनोष्णिमानं विजानाति तस्यैषा श्रुतिर् तस्यैषा श्रुतिर् यत्रैतत् कर्णावपि गृह्य यत्रैतत् कर्णावपि गृह्य निनदमिव नदतु इव अग्नेः इव ज्वलतः निनदमिव नदतुरिव अग्नेरिव ज्वलत उपशृणोति तदेतत् दृष्टं च श्रुतं च इति उपासीत उपशृणोति तदेतत् दृष्टं च श्रुतं चेत्युपासीत चक्षुष्यः श्रुतो भवति चक्षुष्यः श्रुतो भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद य एवं वेद य एवं वेद टुगेदर ओम अथ छान्दोग्योपनिषदि तृतीयोऽध्याये द्वादशः त्रयोदशः खण्डौ अथ द्वादशः खण्डः ॐ गायत्री वा इदगं सर्वं भूतं यदिदं किञ्च वाग्वै गायत्री वाग्वा इदगं सर्वं भूतं गायति च त्रायते च या वै सा गायत्री इयं वावसा इयं पृथिवी अस्यागं हि इदगं सर्वं भूतं प्रतिष्ठितम् एताम् एव नातिशीयते या वै सा पृथिवी इयं वावसा यदिदम् अस्मिन् पुरुषे शरीरम् अस्मिन् हि मे प्राणाः प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते यद्वै तत्पुरुषे शरीरम् इदं वाव तद्यदं यदिदम् अस्मिन् अन्तःपुरुषे हृदयम् अस्मिन् हि मे प्राणाः प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते सैषा चतुष्पदा षड्विधा गायत्री तदेतत् ऋचाभ्यनोक्तम् तावानस्य महिमा ततो जायागश्च पादोऽस्य सर्वा भूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवीति यद्वै तद्ब्रह्मेतीदं वाव तद्योऽहं बहिर्धा पुरुषात् आकाशः यो वै स बहिर्धा पुरुषादाकाशः अयं वाव स योऽयमन्तः पुरुषः आकाशः यो वै सोऽन्तः पुरुषः आकाशः अयं वाव स योऽयमन्तर्हृदय आकाशः तदेतत् पूर्णम् अप्रवर्ति पूर्णामप्रवर्तिनीगं श्रियं लभते य एवं वेद अथ त्रयोदशः खण्डः तस्य हवा एतस्य हृदयस्य पञ्चदेवस्य स योऽस्य प्रांशुषिः स प्राणस्तच्चक्षुः स आदित्यस्तदेतत् तेजः अन्नाद्यमित्युपासीत तेजस्वी अन्नादो भवति य एवं वेद अथ योऽस्य दक्षिणः सुषिः स व्यानस्तच्छ्रोत्रगं स चन्द्रमास्तदेतत् श्रेष्ठ यशश्च इति उपासीत श्रीमान् यशस्वी भवति य एवं वेद अथ योऽस्य प्रत्यङ्सुषिः सोपानः सावाक् सोऽग्निस्तदेतत् ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अन्नाद्यमित्युपासीत ब्रह्मवर्चस्वी अन्नादो भवति य एवं वेद अतयोश्चोदं सुषिः स समानः तन्मनः स पर्जन्यस्तदेतत् कीर्तिश्च विष्टिश्चेत्युपासीत कीर्तिमान् व्युष्टिमान् भवति य एवं वेद अतयोस्योर्ध्वः सुषिः स उदानः स वायुः स आकाशः तदेतदोजश्च महश्च इति उपासीत ओजस्वी महास्वान् भवति य एवं वेद ते वा एते पञ्च ब्रह्मपुरुषाः स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपाः स एतान् एवं पञ्च ब्रह्मपुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद अस्य कुले वीरो जायते प्रतिपद्यते स्वर्गं लोकं य एतान् एवं पञ्च ब्रह्म पुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद अथ यत् अतः परो दिवो ज्योतिर्दीप्यते विश्वतः पृष्ठेषु सर्वतः पृष्ठेषु अनुत्तमेषु उत्तमेषु लोकेषु इदं वाव तद्यत् इदम् अस्मिन् अन्तः पुरुषे ज्योतिः तस्यैषा दृष्टिर् यत्रैतदस्मिन् शरीरे सगं स्पर्शेन उष्णिमानं विजानाति तस्यैषा श्रुतिर् यत्रैतत् कर्णावपि गृह्य निनदम् इव नदतुरिव अग्नेरिव ज्वलत उपशृणोति तदेतद्दृष्टं च श्रुतं च इति उपासीत चक्षुष्यः श्रुतो भवति य एवं वेद य एवं वेद ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. So tomorrow also two khandas. Yeah. Friends, we have done our Veda Parayanam sadhana. The second sadhana of our common sense thought today is very common, simple. That once we have become very sure and certain about our ultimate goal, second, the required sadhanas for that also known by us and we are engaged in. Third thing also we have to become very aware about. Very essential one. This third thing discussion is the point today precisely is what key, that it is not that half an hour, 1 hour, or even 2 hours of some mechanical or even sincere sadhana we do as prescribed by Guru and Shastra and as convinced by us that it is enough. No. Let us be having that daring courage to understand and accept this bitter truth that to grow, evolve spiritually, it is not sufficient to do that 1 hour, 2 hour sadhana, but we have to be mindful to know that all through the day, every moment, whatever is done by us, all of that affects, influences our sadhana positively or non positively. Therefore, a spiritual seeker, fortunately, unfortunately, cannot take anything, even one thing also, for granted throughout the life. Because everything influences positively the sadhana or non positively in bringing the samsara into us. Every wee bit also, every mini micro also that is there around us happening, about us happening, that will have influence. Not knowing this, that 1.5 hour, 2 hours we do beautiful sadhana, yet nothing's happening. What's the problem? We are not able to understand. Isn't it? Even at the physical level too, for our well-being as a healthy person, everything influences, everything matters. So too spiritually also. So too for the psychological health also. Therefore, mindful of all the things throughout the day, we have to see to it that all of them add up to our sadhana, help in our sadhana, but not in increasing the samsara in us, not increasing the bondage in us. That high level of alertness and accordingly being very careful about involving or not involving in things is the true sadhana and not difficult to understand, as we just now said. If people who are health conscious, especially those who are in sports or those who are in the what you call in the cinema and all of that. See, they little bit in any of their physical the normalcy or presentability goes away, they won't get chances. So therefore, throughout the day, they are so careful about every aspect to maintain themselves. Physical example we are giving, so that they are fit, they are selected for that movie. So to the players who play the sports, etc. Little if they are not able to do, it is so much competition is there that थोड़ा सा भी वो दौड़ने में उसका speed कम हो गया मानो, negative mark is made, immediately the other person is considered and he is given chance. Very, very tough it is. Therefore, those fellows with all the money there still control their diet and everything, they have to be disciplined. The other famous example is of that of singers. It's not an easy thing to sing songs with a beautiful raga, not like me giving lecture without any raga. Why do you give lecture without raga? Because I'm viragi. So viraga means without raga. Isn't it? But you do it without tala also. Yeah, I'm betal. अब क्या बोलोगे? So for them, you see that to maintain that throat, they go to marriage when somebody meets. वो भोजन इतने 56 भोग होते हैं. Those are never anywhere sadhakas or any such talents or arts not there. They झपट कर खा लेते हैं. But these people are very careful. So smilingly, anything offered, they say no, 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 no. And only one or two things which are required, which can be managed, which can be allowed, they take. But मिठाइयाँ खाओ, आइसक्रीम खाओ. They say गला खराब. Tomorrow I have audition or singing. Don't you see that? Throughout life they are there. That's how they will be. They are able to do that thing for 40, 50. And in all these three fields we told of cinema or singing or sports. Many people who were very genius in the beginning, but slowly they have fallen down or they have gone away from that because those cares they have not taken. That's it. So, in the same way, in whichever the field we are there, as we have to be very careful regarding things to be done and not to be done to maintain that. In spirituality also, everything counts, everything matters, nothing can be taken for granted. That attitude we have to develop. 24 घंटे मैं आध्यात्मिक साधक हूँ. So anything done has to help me in sadhana, not destroy my sadhana. That maturity when it comes, we are really growing. Isn't it? The maturity is such a word which we very frequently use. Only that word can convey what we want to convey. Because in some places we are good, but other places also we are required. But there we miss it. That's immaturity. That's what is the one which gives us trouble in that particular field. Isn't it? In everything it is. Like driving me. He is very matured in आगे दौड़ाते हुए कार ले जाने में. But that fellow fails in taking that reverse of the vehicle. पीछे घुमाने में, reverse लेने में, he doesn't know. हमेशा ठोकता ही रहता है. So each one has something or the other where he misses. है ना? कुकिंग में भी गुड कुकिंग डज एवरीथिंग, सब बढ़िया बनाती है मेरी पत्नी, चाय बनाना नहीं आता उनको. दैट्स सो 30 साल से शी इज मेकिंग टी, नॉट इवन वन डे हैड ए गुड टी. अब व्हाट टू डू शी डजंट नो, वो होता है वैसा ही. अंडरस्टूड. सो नाउ एज आध्यात्मिक साधका, एवरीथिंग 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 मीन्स everything it is said now, I need not give even details. You work out them. To start with, our bhojana vyavahara. Anna, what type of food we are eating, how much we are eating, when we are eating, they all count. Both in our physical health too, our prana shakti also, so to our mind. The food taken, the subtlest part becomes the mind. Isn't it? So तमोगुण भोजन ले लिया तो मन तामसिक हो जाएगा. Then with that, can we do the sadhana? Like that we have to think. The food taken through the mouth or the stomach. So too, through all other indriyas, with the ears what we listen, that doesn't go waste. See, when we want to do our japa and sadhana, होता ही नहीं. कुछ ना कुछ सिनेमा गाना टीवी एडवर्टाइजमेंट याद आते हैं. Because we heard them with our ears, they became impressions, and now they are continuously ringing only. भूले बिसरे गीत होता है कि नहीं बोलो. So to what we are listening now become impressions, they disturb our sadhana. एक तो एकाग्रता का भंग होता है, दूसरा वासनाएं बनते हैं उसके. तो वी कैनॉट अलो एनीथिंग टू बी लिसन्ड बाय अस. इसलिए भद्रम करने भी श्रृणुयाम इज द हाईएस्ट एंड फर्स्ट साधना indicated which we chant every day this mantra. But how much importance we give it to it, it depends on our maturity again. We cannot be, unfortunately, careless once we become Adhyatmic sadhak about anything. It doesn't go together. Like once one joins the army, he cannot be careless because his one mistake can cause big trouble to the whole nation also. है ना? If he's not careful in giving the samachara, जो भी है, मुश्किल होता है. These are all very sensitive jobs. So too, this sadhana spirituality is highly sensitive. It has to be protected from every chance of disturbance or destruction. More importantly, Bhadram Pashyema Akshavihi. Anything we see through the eye, again it becomes a samskara and vasana. Therefore, we have to be very careful. ऐसा नहीं कह कि मैं कुछ भी देखता जाऊंगा एंड बाद में जो होगा आई विल टेक केयर एंड आई विल मैनेज. ऐसा नहीं होता. वी कैनॉट take care and we cannot manage once those vasanas become very strong. And simple common sense thought, the other day we told you 4 5 months back कि कीचड़ में लगाना क्यों पाओ और धोना क्यों उसको. Better is don't put na, isn't it? Is it good intelligence to put the feet in the कीचड़ and then wash them, or protect yourself, which is wisdom? बताओ. Same way, anyway when they have to be washed, why they have to be spoiled? Here also, through the eyes, what we see, through the ears, what we listen, through the tongue, what we taste, and through the tongue, what we talk also. It influences our mind sadhana, it influences other person, and it influences the, once it influences a person, that person's thoughts, the person's reciprocations definitely influences. Isn't it? कभी कभी होता है कि आप यात्रा में जा रहे हो 4 5 days, फर्स्ट डे ऑफ यात्रा ओनली you spoke to somebody little carelessly, that person also gave back very strongly. That one incident enough, the next 5 6 days in that your yatra or the camp, you could not focus because ego got hurt. Isn't it? Disturbance हो गया माइंड में. अब 4 दिन से कैंप में है लेकिन दिमाग लग ही नहीं रहा because that one thing which we spoke wrong and we listened wrong. Isn't it? That ego लेसनेस होना चाहिए वहां. कॉमन सेंस होना. अरे मेरे को डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, चलो जाके उसे समझौता करूं. सिट एंड विद देम, टेल सॉरी आई सेड रॉन्ग दिस, प्लीज फॉरगिव मी. इसे या मैं भी रिप्लाई दिया, क्षमा करो. तो एटलीस्ट माइंड शांत होकर अगले दिन से यू कैन अटेंड क्लास. बट हम करते नहीं वो. अकल तो बहुत कीमती चीज है, उसको यूज नहीं करते अपन. एनीवे, सो इन दैट वे, so the food we talked about, the indriya karma we talked about. So too, the places where we go, isn't it? They have influence. In fact, which place we stay around क्या है वो हमें influence करता है. Are we staying in a sattvic place? Are we staying in a rajasika? Are we staying in a tamasika? उपायाः देशकालाद्याः सन्त्यस्मिन् सहकारिणः. Definitely, देश और काल सहकारी होते हैं साधना में, अगर अच्छे देश अच्छा काल है तो. So where do we stay? Where we are frequently physically going? That matters. Places. So too, most important in life we miss is the people whom we are meeting. इतना influence होता है उसका, we cannot take it for granted. Along with that, what batakhani we do with them, what talking we do with them, which subject we talk, that influences. So, which books we read, which papers we read, all of that is influencing our antakarana. Lagatar, continuously. And our own thoughts which we entertain, our own emotions which we entertain. होता है ना, उसको माइंडफुल होना है हमको. अरे पिछले 3 दिन से हम entertaining only demoralizing thoughts. Let me entertain the optimistic positive thoughts. भूल जाते हैं हम. Our thoughts alone make what we are, isn't it? So our thoughts, our words, our deeds, our intentions, our attitudes, our books we read, our cinemas we see, people whom we met, places we go, food we eat, all of them, the exercises which type we do, they also count, they also matter. Sleeping hours also matter. ज्यादा सो जाए तो टाइम ही नहीं बचा रहेगा, कम सो जाए तो फिर दिन भर नींद लगा रहता है. एंड दिस फूड, this nidra, these activities, they are interconnected, isn't it? Over food eaten, so too much nidra aega, you will never be active. No food eaten, very weakness, that time also activeness cannot be. पता ही नहीं चलता हमको पिछले 5 दिन से मैं कमजोर हूँ. You are not eating well. It's so simple, but then we are not aware of it. एक ही रूटीन में एक चीज खा रहे हैं जिससे some required nutrients are not entering the body, isn't it? Some people overeat because दूसरा काम धंधा नहीं है. Them also, they also get the problem of overeating, variety of things. No, all of that influencing our sadhana. Being an adhyatmic seeker, we cannot afford even a moment, a micro moment also, to take anything for granted. हर चीज का मापदंड करके, मतलब measuring in a measured way, we have to do it. That alertness, it will come in tomorrow or day after tomorrow's Gita shloka. We have to be like a tortoise. That example will come. I think here only. Ah, Ita samarate chayam kurmonganiva sarvashaha. Absolute alertness. Oh, this attitude came in me towards that person of anger or of hatred or of jealousy. How can it come? I am studying Vedanta. In Vedanta, everything is one Brahman. Other than Brahman, everything is Kalpita. How can I value the Kalpita and create disturbance in my mind? Either I'll see the divinity in him or I'll not see him at all. I'll think about him as divine or I won't think only. In this way, being alert. That we miss. We miss all things. The sublime, complete understanding of the truth, that it inspires us to take it as the goal. वो भी बनाने हमारे अंदर. We miss even the clarity of the sadhana. Every day what we have to do as a routine towards that. पता नहीं चलता पूर्णतया, हम कोशिश नहीं कर रहे बस. So too, in and through all our day's activities, we just forget only we are sadhakas. We fight with the servants, we fight with the drivers, we fight with the wife, knowing that you will never win. स्वामी जी, माया को जीतने की बात, आत्म को बाने की बात बाद में बताओ. पहले बताओ हाउ टू विन द वाइफ. You have missed that solution, Baba. Only one solution I knew it and I did it. What is it? शादी नहीं किया. There is no other way. What you are talking by शादी कर लो और जीतो. वो शादी के फर्स्ट थिंग क्या करती है वो? हार पहनाती है. What it means? Life young हार. So people say such things. Impossible, isn't it? No, no, no. I'll tell you how to conquer Maya. No, no, no. I want to know how to win over the wife. It is not possible. So, in this way, we fight with our father or mother or our friend. हर बार बाहर लड़ते हैं या अंदर लड़ते. Even with the most justifiable reason also, that is not allowed. And there's no reason, isn't it? Still, we keep on in our mind muttering about somebody. और कोई बंदा पड़ोस है उससे हमारा संबंध ही नहीं है. We think about भाई वो ऐसा क्यों चलता है? अरे why are you worried? But we think about it. But all of them are मन को चंचल बना रहे हैं कि नहीं बताओ. Unnecessary संस्कार बन रहे हैं कि नहीं बताओ. And when we sit for meditation, is not that those are the thoughts which are distracting us. Therefore, we are not able to consistently focus on our goal. So, everything influences. Many things are listed out, some more, whichever are not listed, add all of them also. The air we breathe, the water we drink, that also influences. The wall hangings which you keep at home, they also influence us. You cannot take it for granted कि कुछ भी लगा है और डेली उसी को देखते जाते हो तो फिर वो इन्फ्लुएंस होते मन में. दैट्स व्हाई आवर एल्डर्स कीप ऑल दिस डिवाइन पिक्चर्स को, इसलिए मैं इतने लगाता हूँ. कुछ लोगों को लगता है स्वामी इतना क्यों आप रख रहे हो, आप दिखते ही नहीं हो. मेरे को मुझे नहीं दिखना है. द डिविनिटी हैज टू बी सीन. सो इन दैट वे all of them are influential, है ना? So whether we go to temples or the other places, whether we meet regularly spiritual saintly people or non-spiritual, the the other people, sinners or negative people, ये सब हमको mindful रहना पड़ता है. Even the articles which we read in the papers and all, काय की जरूरत है उसका भी? Once we know all of that is Kalpita and Mithya and one day has to be given up and transcended to realize the self, why? It is better to have a very good sleep rather than spoiling our antakarana by involving in all these things. मैं तो कहता हूँ 12 घंटा सो जाओ, 12 घंटा साधना करो. नॉट दैट 8 घंटा सोए, 8 घंटा साधना किया और 8 घंटा इतना इन्वॉल्व हो गए चीजों में, वो सोने को साधना को दोनों को डिस्टर्ब करे. Isn't it? It is what it is. Every sound that is around disturbs, influences us. है ना? Put an Omkara Shabda, how wonderful it is. And any other sound continuously, that will disturb our mind. So, like this, mindful about everything. Before that, mindful that we are Adhyatmic Sadhaka, we have to grow. We have to substantially grow. We have to grow to such an extent that in this very life, the Anubhuti should come. No postpone for the next life. है ना? Even those things also are important. How much Shraddha we have for sadhana, how much commitment we have for sadhana. Before that, how much we have that eagerness that quickly touch that self. All of that decide our sadhana. And when we take these things for granted later and the other things too much importance we give, then we are very, very superficial. That's what is the biggest problem with all of us. Lack of seriousness regarding Adhyatmikata. Lack of seriousness. Therefore, lack of sincerity. Therefore, lack of giving sufficient thought to it. Therefore, no clarity, no planning, no execution. Therefore, जहाँ है वहीं रह जाते. This is same. The disease is same whether it troubles us in the worldly achievements or in Adhyatmikata. You understand? These are not the words said to blame. These are all the words said only to say that these are the places where we have to improve ourselves. As we saw yesterday's thought, as a human being, continuously knowing and continuously improving according to the newly gained knowledge. That is how the human being evolves, like a child goes on knowing how to walk and walks, how to run and runs, how to study and studies. So he knows and he does, he goes on growing. So too, we are only just knowing. These are the places where we have to consciously put effort to improve, that cannot be taken for granted. Even the ventilation which we have in our house, that also influences. If you make it very cozy, then that coziness influences the mind to identify with the body एंड स्लीप मजेदार. थोड़ा फ्रेश एयर, ठंडा ठंडा है मानो, तो एक्टिवनेस होता है, अलर्टनेस होता है. यू कैन इंस्पायर योर सेल्फ डू सम साधन. इवन घर का हवा कैसा हो, वो भी इन्फ्लुएंस करता है. किचन में क्या मिर्ची मसाले हो रहे हैं, दैट आल्सो इन्फ्लुएंसेस. हाँ, नथिंग इज विदाउट इन्फ्लुएंसिंग अस. लगातार, कंटिन्यूअसली, our personality is banged and molded by all these things, our antakaran. So let us learn the art of becoming aware and protect ourselves. And do only those things which add up to our sadhana, avoid all these things which disturb our sadhana. Right? Today, this is what is the common sense thought we have learned about. Now come to the third topic of our mantrocharana. We do today the mantra. कौन सा करेंगे? ओंकार का हम करते हैं मंत्र. So some of you know this mantra, or maybe many of you. कि प्रणव ध्यान includes the dhyana of saguna and nirguna. Because in the Upanishads, Om is said to be the Saguna Brahma as well as Nirguna Brahma. Om ityetat etadheva aksharam Brahma etadheva aksharam param. This Omkara Akshara is Brahma, that is Kshara Brahma. Param is equal to Parabrahma also. Etadheva aksharam jnatva yo yajidichyati tasya tatu. एतदालम्बनम श्रेष्ठम एतदालम्बनम परम एतदालम्बनम ज्ञात्वा ब्रह्मलोके महीयते. तो यो यदिच्छति तस्य तत् मीन्स एनीथिंग वर्ल्डली यू डिजायर, द ओंकार ईश्वर विल ब्लेस यू. Om itself is Ishvara. So too, even the moksha sthiti of Paramatma Prapti also is blessed because Om is Nirguna Brahma also. ब्रह्मलोके महीयते, ब्रह्म एव लोक ब्रह्मलोकः तस्मिन् ब्रह्मणि लोके महीयते. So that way, Omkara and Pranama is the greatest and highest mantra. And in many places, especially in South and all, अब ओम मत बोलना चाहिए, क्या क्या नाटक ही करते रहते रे बाबा. परेशान होता हूं मैं तो ऐसे प्रश्न सुनकर. लकीली आजकल कोई नहीं पूछते, बट सम अर्लियर. ओम इज द Vedic name of the Lord. Om Tat Saditi Brahmanah Nirdeshah Trividaha. In Gita, it is so clearly said by Krishna himself. Om is the indication of the Brahman along with Tat and Sattu. Om iti ekaksharam Brahma, he said in the 8th chapter also. Pranavah Sarva Vedeshu, he said in the 10th chapter or 7th chapter. Vedyam Pavitram Omkaraha, he said in the 9th chapter. 7th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter, 10th. In all those four, and even the 17th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna talks about Omkara as me only. And which is the Upanishad which is without Om? They don't have doubt. So Omkara Ucharana and Omkara, the symbol also, it is Vedic only. Dhyana on that. Rupa Rupena on that Omkara Rupa. Yesterday night I was seeing some nice message. Those people made their house somewhere in the extreme outskirts. Mein. Outside, if you look at the house from some 20-30 meters, the design is such that the whole house is in between that swastika symbol. You can make it Onkara symbol also. So Rupa Rupa Onkara, then Onkara Nama. Om is the Shabda, Onkara Shabda. They can be taken as Alambana. है ना? जो हमारे अंदर अनाहत ध्वनि होती रहती है, that also ओंकार. More explanation about ओंकार we have done in many other classes. So today the pranava ओंकार संबंधी mantra. What is that? Om ओंकारम बिंदु संयुक्तम नित्यम ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदम मोक्षदम चैव Omkaraya Namo Namaha. So sweet, no? Omkaram, the Om, Bindu Sanyuktam. The Om, this one, and Bindu. Many people explain all these symbols also. For me, the Bindu is from the Bindu comes the Nada, from the Nada comes the Kala. So the Kala are all words. Nada is the sound from which all the words come. Bindu is that from where the sound begins. And that is Brahman only. So here the Om with Bindu. Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam. Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginaha. Those who do the dhyana of it Nitya Rupena, they are yogis, they become yogis. So Ucharana and the Dhyana Purvaka Ucharana. Many people do the Ucharana but Dhyana is somewhere else. No. ओंकार का ही ध्यान करते हुए उच्चारण करते हुए ध्यान करना है ना ईश्वर प्रणिधानाद्वा ईश्वर डेफिनेशन then his name is given tasya vachakah pranavah tadjapastadartha bhavanam we saw in yoga darshanam also so omkaram bindu sanyuktam om nityam dhyayanti yoginah the yogis do the dhyana of it continuously all the time kamadam it is a giver of all the kamanas anything of this world Mokshadam cha, by giving the Tattvanubhava, it is the giver of moksha also. Omityetadaksharamidagam sarvam tasyopavyakhyanam bhutam bhavat bhavishyatiti sarvam onkara eva yachanyat trikalatetam tadapyonkara eva. We have seen in Mandukya Upanishad. So Kamadam, all results are fulfilled, desires are. Mokshadam, it's the giver of moksha through revealing the reality. Even in the Yaschandasam Vrishabho mantra, which is the invocation of Omkara, we can see that. Brahmanaha Koshosi, you are the one in whom the moksha giving Brahman is hidden. Please reveal that Brahman to me, O Omkara Rupa Paramatma. That way we can even pray. So, Kamadam Moksham Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha. Therefore, the Saguna Ishvara Rupa Omkara, fulfiller of all desires, Nirguna Brahma Rupi Omkara, giver of liberation by revealing the Brahma Tattva to me, my salutations to you. That's a beautiful mantra. Okay, chant it 12 times. Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Samyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha Om Omkaram Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ॐ ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ॐ ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ॐ ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। ॐ ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। First chanting of Om, master it. Second, chant it mentally, master it. Third, trace the origin of the Om. We realize the self. That's it. As regards the prayers are concerned, consider all devatas are expression of Om. Therefore, O Om Rupi Saguna Brahma, bless me with all that's required, which makes my Adhyatmic sadhana and reaching you convenient. In that way, every day, Pranava Ucharana, Pranava Prarthana, Pranava Dhyana can be beautiful sadhana. The amount of ekagrata Om brings, auspiciousness Om brings, unparalleled. If possible, that Om chanting machine keep in your house, पूजा रूम चलता रहे प्रणव का निरंतर. Even in your car when you travel, put Omkara, that's better. Om chanting. Om, 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 Om. No other words, no other music required. Om, Om. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahanavavatu. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo. Om Yairime Guruvihi Purvam. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam. Om Sukrute Dhikrute Bahudha Bhavato. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam. Om Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Samasta ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद् गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपा अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिविश्वाध्यात्मिकप्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां नित्यनिरन्तरदिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुघ्नसमूल निर्मूलनपूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थमस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रतिभक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थमनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधनाप्रयत्नमध्ये कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्। पारायणम अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः 7, 8, 9। समाने वृक्षे पुरुषो निमग्नः अनीशया शोचति मुह्यमानः जुष्टं यदा पश्यत्यन्यमीशम् अस्य महिमानमिति वीतशोकः ऋचो अक्षरे परमे व्योमन् यस्मिन् देवा अधिविश्वे निषेदुः यस्तं न वेद किं ऋचा करिष्यति य इत्तद्विदुस्त इमे समासते छन्दांसि यज्ञाः क्रतवो वृतानि भूतं भव्यं यच्च वेदा वदन्ति अस्मान्मायी सृजते विश्वमेतत् एतस्मिंश्चान्यो मायया संनिरुद्धः। सिक्स्थ मंत्र। ओम सवृक्षकालाकृतिभिः परोऽन्यः यस्मात् प्रपञ्चः परिवर्तते यं धर्मावहं पापनुदं भगेशं ज्ञात्वात्मस्थम् अमृतं विश्वधाम। फर्स्ट लाइन। सह वृक्षकाल आकृतिभिः परः and अन्यः. Saha is that Parabrahma Paramatma. Vriksha is samsara vriksha. So vriksha akarat paraha is beyond, higher than, greater than samsara vriksha. Sa vriksha akritivihi anyaha means he is not touched, influenced by all these projected samsara of Rupanama and samsara of all modifications in that Rupanama. He is anyaha, untouched by them. स काल आकृतिभिः परः सः काल आकृतिभिः अन्यः. Kala is time. Past, present, future. Kala is time in the form of Karana and Karya. And Kala is the one which brings modifications in everything seated in that object. So that Kala doesn't touch that Paramatma means the Kala doesn't modify the Paramatma, reduce Paramatma, change Paramatma, destroy Paramatma. A Kala Akritivi Anya. So too, he cannot be measured as the time is measured in time, etc., in seconds and 1 hour, etc. Is eternal. So in this way, first line. Second was Yasmat Prapancha Parivartate Ayam. Okay. This entire Prapancha is Paritah Vartate Yasmat. Maya Abhyakshena Prakriti Suyate. Remember that sentence. So, in the presence of Paramatma, his Maya Shakti is the one which is doing Prapancha Parivartanam continuously. The other meaning is what? He is not touched by them. Therefore, the Prapancha with all its Parivartana. When we withdraw our attention from it, then the Parivartana Rahita Sada Eka Rasa Paramatma Anubhuti happens to us. That is the meaning in the second line. Third was important. Dharmavaham papanudam bhagesham. Dharmavaham is the one who does the vahana, carrying of the dharma only always, not the adharma. In other words, those who are sticking to dharma slowly, steadily, the parama dharma called is Paramatma Tattva reveals to them, they become qualified for that revelation. Dharmavaham. Dharmam vahati iti. Okay, dharmavaham. By doing dharma, we can propitiate the Paramatma more. And doing adharma and don't attribute it to Paramatma. I know. And what is everywhere adharma? Not doing dharma, that's it. Nothing called as adharma and papa. Substantial that way. They are the absence of dharma. So dharmavaham, the Lord is always the one who supports the dharma. When one lives the life of dharma, one realizes Brahman. That's why Arutam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami. Rutam Satyam are dharmas only. And in the Mahanarayana, the Upanishads, we have seen Dharmena papam apanudati, Tasmat Dharme Paramatma Pratishtitam. We see that. Dharma Avaham. Two things always remember. To establish that Dharma, whole Avatara Bhagavan took and came, that of Lord Rama. And the whole text called Srimad Bhagavad Gita is Dharma Sandesh only, Mama Dharma. All these should help us in realizing that Paramatma supports Dharma and Dharma Avalambi only becomes qualified for Paramatma Anugraha, Paramatma Darshana, Paramatma Anubhuti. That's the meaning of Dharma Avaham. The subtler meanings we saw yesterday. Dharma means the law of the being. Isn't it? Like the Agni, fire, its dharma is burning power. So Dharma means he is the Agni. Tejas Chasmi Vibhava. So because of which the Agni is Agni there. He is the fire burning power in that Agni, because of which the Agni is always respected as Agni. That way, the law of being in everything is he only. Dharma. Little subtler if you go, Dharma of everything is its own Atma. Therefore, by being the Atma, the Dharma, he is supporting every Dharmi. By being the Atman, which is the Dharma, Bhagavan is supporting every Dharmi, the name and form. Dharma. Beautiful thought. So to Papanudam. So Papanudam is Paramatma is the one who dislikes, rejects the Papa. All Papatmas are, that's why, roasted and tortured and troubled in that Narakadi Lokas. Papanudam. The ones who live the life of Papa, they're always afraid of Paramatma, so they don't even go to the temple and satsang. Then how will they realize Paramatma? Sadhana ke drushti. है ना? These are the tricks of the mind to be conquered with the intelligence of the intellect. तो मैं पापी हूँ तो मैं सत्संग नहीं जाऊंगा. That's how many of your family members don't come to class because they have that regret and guilt. So they have to be told that satsanga is the one where slowly we help ourselves to come out of that all other mind papa. है ना? सत्संग का उद्देश्य ही हमें शुद्ध करना है ना. So can you say that I don't want to go to hospital because I am diseased? Arey, hospital is meant for that only. I don't want to go to school because I am uneducated or illiterate. Arey, school is to make you literate and educated. So too, I don't want to go to the class because मैं अधर्मी मैं पापी हूँ. अरे यार, उससे मुक्ति पाने के लिए तो होता है सत्संग. Some people have that fear. So papanudam. So by these two words, both the things are mentioned. That by avoiding papa and by involving in dharma, you can invoke Paramatma. Another is what? Invoke Paramatma only to achieve these two. Oh Bhagwan, please see to it that from my life, total adharma and papa are eliminated, and every moment I am living the life of dharma and punya and sadhana. Pray to him, then he will bless us with that. निरंतर उस ईश्वर का स्मरण करते हुए प्रार्थना करते रहना. Let dharma alone express through me, let punya alone express through me, let sadhana alone express through me in this. Dharmavaham papa nudam. Okay, the third meaning of it is the one who has realized the self in his vyavahara, by default he will always be expressing dharma. The dharmas which he expresses are called as the values. Those values are called as the lakshanas. And those lakshanas of that Jivan Mukta become sadhanas for us, which we were studying in Gita. We are studying in Gita as Sthita Prajna Lakshana. That is the meaning of dharmavaham, another meaning. A Jivan Mukta expresses only the dharma. That means the Paramatma's lakshanas are the lakshanas of the Jivan Mukta. The other thing is papanudam. The samsara lakshanas, which are the papa lakshanas of kama, the vikara, etc., they won't express in the Jivan Mukta because Jivan Mukta is experienced with the self. Self doesn't have all these things. Self is what? One without second. Because of which there is prema. Because of prema, all the Daivi gunas express. What is the papa? Where the sense of otherness is there. Because of the sense of otherness means not realizing one without second self. All the asura lakshanas only of dvesha, krodha they express. Therefore, the third thing is realize the self to express dharma naturally and avoid papa effortlessly. See that? How many ways this can be understood. Okay. In pure Paramatma, there is only dharma, there is no papa. When you pray to Paramatma, he can help in making us live a life of dharma and avoiding the papa, yet we are comfortable. The problem for us is what? When we live dharmic way, without any papa, we may not have riches, we may not have name and fame. ऐसा हमको डर लगता. But when we live the life of dharma and papa rahitya, definitely there may be no richnesses like the papatmas, but there is self-confidence, there is self-respect, there is contentment. No, are these not the riches? क्या ये संपदा नहीं है? ये तो सूक्ष्म संपदा है, ये तो मजेदार संपदा है. And that person who by adharma and papa earned lot of money, the gross money is there in him, with him, but is he trupta? Can he be having self-respect? सर उठा के आगे जगत के सामने रह सकता है क्या? He is poor in those things then. In fact, he has sold his values for the sake of money. And we have kept away the money for the sake of the inner money, inner wealth. These are all then explanations can be given very extensively. You all are wise people in all this. So Dharmavaham stands explained, Papanudam explained, Bhagesham. Bhagaisham, he is the Ishwara of all the Aishwaryas. Okay. Bhagasya Aishwaryadehe Isham Swaminam. He is a Swami, Ishwara of all the Aishwarya. All the Aishwarya finally belongs to the Maya Shakti. The Maya Shakti belongs to the Mayi, the Paramatma. Therefore, he is the Ishwara of all the Bhaga. Therefore, Bhagesham mein, he is the Ishwara of all the Bhaga. Therefore, don't seek the Aishwarya, seek the one to whom all these belong. This is how this shloka we have interpreted last 2-3 days. That these are all indicatively telling us the Paramatma Tattva, because Paramatma is in the Paroksha way only can be told. Pratyaksha Rupena he cannot be shown. So one of the words is this Bhaga Aishwarya. Bhagesham, the Ishvara of the Bhaga. Therefore, the one to whom all these belong, focus attention on him rather than these Bhaga, the Aishwaryas. The six Sampadas. You know, Bhagesha. Then the last one we have to see the line Jnatva Atmastam Amrutam Vishwadhama. The Amrutam and Vishwadhama can be attributed in continuation of the above Lakshanas as Lakshana of that Paramatma only whom we have to realize. Or these two can be used as the one who realizes that Paramatma, he will experience these two. ऐसा दोनों तरह से इसको हम देख सकते हैं. Amrutam is Vishwadhama. He is Amrutam also. He is immortal. He is Vishwadhama. In him is the entire Vishwa supported, and he is there in the Vishwa, every nook and corner. That way. Now, what Bhashyakara says for this? Jnatva Atmastam Amrutam Vishwadhama. This is the line, fourth line, last line of this mantra we are studying. Jnatva Atmastam. So, knowing him that he is there in our own self. Atmastham. That stham what is used means he is the container, sorry, content, contained in a container. Atmastham, like grahastha. So he is the content in the graha, the container. Karastha. He is in the car, the content, in the car, the container. Deshastha. Desha is the container, we are contained in it. Content, isn't it? Here also, Atmastham means he is stationed in the Atma. Therefore, he is stationed in the Atma means that Atma is the container, he is the content. This is the literal meaning of it. From this literal meaning, the indicated meaning we have to catch. Therefore, here Atma Stham me, the one who is Stham is Paramatma. And that Stham Paramatma, in whom he is there, he is in Atma. Therefore, here the Atma is something else. And what is that something else? Buddhau. So Atmastham means Buddhistitam. That's why the Bhashyakara says Jnatva Atmastham Atmani means Buddhau Sthitam. So he is in the Buddhi. Then again Taittiriya Upanishad ko yaad rakho if you can do it. So here in Nidra you cannot realize Paramatma. When we are mental in the mind's projection imagination, we cannot realize Paramatma. When we are at the senses level, body level, pranamaya kosha also, Paramatma, though is there as substratum, but not recognizable. Then where is he recognizable? In the buddhi only. In buddhi, how? What is happening in buddhi? In buddhi, the jnanam is happening. Okay. In buddhi, the jnanam is happening. So, whether either by asking how this jnanam is happening or by asking to whom this jnanam is happening, we reach to that Paramatma. That's the meaning of Buddhistam. Okay, in another way of saying is in the Buddhi only the Triputi happens of Jnata, Jnanam, Gneyam. Okay, it's all Buddhi. Buddhi means thoughts. I know this object. So the object is known by me. So I have the knowledge of the object. These are all Buddhi only, no? No, just object of the knowledge of the object, nor of the knowledge of the object. If we can somehow transcend, what you see is that knower, knowing, knowledge, atita paramatma. In that way, he is hidden there. ज्ञाता ज्ञान ज्ञेय त्रिपुटी के भीतर परमात्मा है. That ज्ञाता ज्ञानम ज्ञेयम is buddhi. That buddhi here in the Upanishad is said by the word Atma. Therefore, Atmastham is equal to Buddhav Sthitam is equal to Jnata Jnana Jneya Triputi Antaha Jnapti Rupena Sthitam. From the other side, the Jnapti Rupa Paramatma only through the thought is as if appearing as Jnata Jnanam Jneyam. And in that, I consider myself to be the Jnata and I consider the Jneya to be other than me and I have the knowledge of it. The Jnanam followed by the Ichcha, followed by the Karma, and all subsequent nonsense starts. So Buddhau Sthitam is he is there in the Jnanamaya Buddhi Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha, Paramatma is there. Okay. So that's why in Vedanta the sadhana is who is this Jnata is known. Okay. That Jnata को पकड़ने के लिए he being the Chaitanya Swarupa, Chaitanya alone expresses a Sakshi. So we are told to learn to be the Sakshi. First learn to be a Sakshi. Then that Sakshi itself is Chaitanya, and that Chaitanya is the Jnata, or pure Jnapti Swarupa, and that we are. That's how in the Buddhi he is Thitam for us to recognize. But once we recognize him, that same Jnapti Swarupa Chaitanyam alone is miraculously, surprisingly discovered by us to be everything else. That's the meaning of there's nothing called as Mrunmaya in this world. Everything is Chinmaya only. Everything is consciousness. Without consciousness, can you be aware of the suns and moons and stars and rivers and oceans and friends and enemies and your own body, mind, intellect? Can we become aware of them without being conscious? You can't know. Therefore, the consciousness alone is dichotomized as drashta and drishya there. Isn't it? If there is no consciousness, that thing doesn't exist. Isn't it? That's how it's called as Sarva Vyapaka Chaitanyam, Chidakash. In that Chidakasha, the Chitta Bhuta Akashas, Chitta and Bhuta Jagats are only projected by the Mahamaya. And we need not value it. When we keep on rejecting them, the Chidakasha we reach. The Chidakasha is the Atma Swarupa. That alone is set here as Atmastham. So, Jnatva Atmastham explained. Then what will happen when we know Atmani Buddha Ustitam Jnatva Amrutam Amarana Dharmanam. Amrutam means Amarana Dharmana means the Janma Jara Roga Mrityu Rupi modifications, Vikaras, uh, Rahita Sthiti. Amruta means Janma Jara Roga Mrityu Vikara Rahita Sthiti. Amrutam Amarana Dharmanam. Then Vishwadhama, second word, Vishwasya Adhara Bhutam. That the substratum support of the Vishwa Yati. He realizes himself to be that. So I am that support of the entire Vishwa, Vishwadhama, who is the Amrita Swarupa, Amarana Dharma. So before the Mrityu, the Jara, Roga, Janma, all of them belong to the Upadhi, not to this Nirupadika Shuddha Brahma Vastu. So when we in our Buddhi seated Paramatma we realize ourselves to be the support of the entire world, Vishwadhama and Amrita Swarupa. So that here Amrita Rupa Vishwadhamatva is given to the realized saint. That he will find himself to be Amrita and Vishwadhama. And he is one with the self, therefore these are the qualities of self only. Lakshana. So sa tattvataha anyah iti sarvatra sambhadyate. And this word or sentence, whether it is repeated in every mantra or not, you add it. What is it? That Brahman is you, and you, that Brahman, is always tattvataha anyaha. From all the tattvas which go in the making of the Sthula Sukshma Karana Jagata, which all have come from Trigunas, which has come from the Maya, the Prakriti, this Paramatma is other than those tattvas. They are not there anywhere at all. He alone is there. So in this way, in the Buddhi Guha, beyond the Triputi of Jnata, Jnana, Gnayam, that Amrita Sarupa, Sarva Adhisthana Bhuta, Chit Swarupa Paramatma, when we know, we become Amrita, we become Vishwadhama, that is a moksha. That's how Jnana se moksha ki prapti is the meaning of this shloka. ज्ञान से भगवत प्राप्ति. ओके. नाउ ज्ञानियों के तत्व अनुभव का उल्लेख. द नेक्स्ट मंत्र 7. टू द सेवंथ मंत्र संबंध भाष्य में द भाष्यकार सेज इदानीम नौ विद्वद अनुभवम दर्शयन्, putting in front of us the anubhava as explained by the anubhavi vidwan, putting in front of us the anubhava of the vidwan. Uktamartham, what was said in the last 3-4 mantras, drudhayati, is made to be understood more firmly. So Jivan Mukta himself says, I have realized it. His words are quoted to make the earlier said slokas meaning more drudha in us for our intellectual understanding and acceptance, so that we pursue that alone, reach that alone. तीसरा मंत्र 7 आज हम पाठ करेंगे, कल अध्ययन करते हैं. तमेश्वराणां परमं महेश्वरं तम देवतानां परमं च दैवतं पतिं पतीनां परमं परस्तात् विदाम देवं भुवनेशमीड्यं. सच ए ब्यूटिफुल मंत्र. थैंक यू. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परमशिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः. तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. That's wonderful. Right, friends, your presence every day, wonderful. Continue. अब गीता पढ़ना है, आ जाओ.